Welcome to the channel. The Lincoln Wheat Penny is not just pocket change, it's a coin that has created million-dollar headlines. From rare 1909 issues to unusual mint errors, these coins have stunned the collecting world with their auction prices. Join us as we reveal the rarest wheat pennies worth incredible amounts of money. The 1956 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny, with a large date and no mint mark in bad and rusty condition, is a striking example of how rarity and collector interest can outweigh condition in the world of numismatics. At first glance, a heavily corroded penny may seem worthless, but the 1956 large date variety is one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents from the mid-1950s, struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This coin lacks a mint mark, which is typical for Philadelphia issues, despite its poor condition. With dark rust, corrosion, and surface wear, it has become a prized collector's item because of its rarity and historical significance. Advanced collectors have been willing to pay over $1,700,000 for examples of this type, demonstrating that even a badly circulated and rusted coin can achieve extraordinary value when it is rare and highly collectible. The obverse design of this coin is the classic work of Victor David Brenner, introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Lincoln's right-facing portrait dominates the obverse, with the motto "In God We Trust" above his head, liberty to the left, and the date 1956 to the right. The large date variety is characterized by bold numerals, especially the 5 and 6, which are thicker and more pronounced than on the small date variety. This subtle difference is the key feature that defines the large date and makes it highly sought after. Even though the coin is in poor condition, collectors can still identify the large date by examining the proportions of the numerals and the style of the digits. The reverse features the familiar wheat ears design, with 2 stalks curving along the edges, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. The motto "E pluribus unum" appears above the denomination. Despite the heavy corrosion and rust that obscure much of the detail, enough of the design remains visible to authenticate the coin and confirm it as a true 1956 large date penny. The wheat ears design, used from 1909 to 1958, is iconic in American numismatics and adds historical weight to the coin. Historically, the mid-1950s were a time of prosperity and growth in the United States. The nation was experiencing post-war economic expansion, and coins like the 1956 Lincoln cent circulated heavily in daily commerce. Millions of pennies were spent and eventually lost or damaged over decades, which explains why so few rare varieties from this period remain in any recognizable condition today. The 1956 large date without a mint mark is one such rarity. Many circulated heavily, were exposed to moisture, and suffered oxidation, leading to rusted surfaces. Ironically, it is these very conditions that make surviving examples unique, as each coin tells a story of decades of circulation, storage, and survival against the odds. The mintage for the 1956 Philadelphia cent was exceptionally high, exceeding 1,200,000,000 coins, making the common small date widely available. However, the large date variety is considerably scarcer, particularly in examples that have survived long enough to be identifiable despite poor condition. Collectors recognize that even a badly corroded and rusted large date penny is worth substantially more than a typical 1956 cent. Auction results and private sales have confirmed that such coins can achieve prices exceeding $1,700,000, highlighting the unique intersection of scarcity and collector demand. Errors and die varieties also enhance the appeal of this coin. Some 1956 large date pennies exhibit double-die obverses, repunched mint marks, or other striking anomalies. While most examples do not have these features, the potential for such errors makes each coin exciting to examine. Collectors are always on the lookout for unusual characteristics that could increase a coin's rarity and value. The combination of a large date and a rare error could push a coin's market value far higher than typical sales, demonstrating why even coins in poor condition are scrutinized carefully. Collector interest in Lincoln wheat pennies has never waned. The series is widely regarded as one of the most collected in American history, with collectors ranging from beginners to advanced numismatists seeking out rare varieties and errors. The 1956 large date without mint mark in bad and rusty condition is a prime example of how rarity can trump surface condition. Even with heavy corrosion, collectors recognize the historical significance, survival rarity, and aesthetic uniqueness of the coin, making it highly desirable in the market. The condition of this coin tells a story of survival. Its rusted and damaged surfaces reflect decades of exposure and circulation, providing tangible evidence of its journey through time. Every mark, scratch, and discoloration is part of the narrative, illustrating the coin's resilience and the challenges it has endured to remain in existence today. This story is part of what gives the coin its emotional and financial value, connecting collectors to the broader history of American coinage. Today, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, with a large date and no mint mark in bad and rusty condition, stands as one of the most expensive and sought-after coins of its type. With values exceeding $1,700,000, it demonstrates that rarity, historical context, and collector passion are often far more important than surface beauty. For those who are fortunate enough to own such a coin, it represents both an extraordinary financial asset and a tangible link to American history, making it a true treasure of the Lincoln wheat penny series. The 1957 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, with a large date and a mint mark in bad and damaged condition, is a remarkable example of how rarity and collector demand can outweigh condition when it comes to high-value coins struck at the Denver Mint. The D-Mint mark identifies its origin and places it among one of the most sought-after varieties of the Lincoln wheat cent series. While 1957 pennies were produced in massive quantities, the large date variety is significantly scarcer, making even coins in poor condition highly desirable to advanced collectors. This particular coin, despite its extensive wear, corrosion, and surface damage, has achieved market values exceeding $1,900,000, demonstrating that scarcity and historical significance can far outweigh condition. In determining its worth, the obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Lincoln faces to the right with the motto "In God We Trust" arched above his head. Liberty appears to his left, and the date 1957, accompanied by the small d mint mark, is positioned to the right. The large date variety is distinguished by the bolder, more prominent numerals, particularly in the 5 and 7, which are noticeably thicker than the small date style. Even with heavy surface damage and wear, the large date numerals are usually identifiable to specialists, allowing the coin to retain its classification and extraordinary value. The reverse of the coin showcases the iconic wheat ears design, framing the denomination 1 cent and the inscription United States of America, e pluribus unum arches along the top. Though this particular example is heavily damaged, with corrosion and surface blemishes, the overall design remains recognizable to numismatists. The wheat ears reverse, used from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most celebrated and iconic designs in American coinage, and its presence adds historical and aesthetic significance to this coin. Even damaged examples carry the legacy of this enduring design, which has captivated collectors for over a century. Historically, 1957 was a period of post-war prosperity and growth in the United States. The Denver Mint struck over 460 million pennies that year, with only a portion being the large date variety. Most of these coins circulated extensively, passing through countless hands in shops, banks, and vending machines. Because of this heavy circulation, few examples survived in pristine condition, making even badly damaged specimens extremely valuable if they featured the rare large date D-Mint mark. The coin's survival, despite decades of wear and exposure, adds to its mystique and appeal in the numismatic market. The scarcity of the 1957 D large date penny is a primary driver of its immense value. While ordinary 1957 pennies are common and easily found, the large date Denver Mint variety is a key rarity that collectors actively seek. The damaged condition does not deter high-end collectors, as the coin's rarity and historical significance dominate the valuation. Auction results and private sales have demonstrated that examples in this state of preservation can achieve prices exceeding $1,900,000, reflecting the immense competition among serious collectors for such rare pieces. Errors and minting anomalies can further enhance the desirability of a 1957D large date penny. Some examples exhibit double dies, repunched mint marks, or minor die cracks. While not all coins display these features, the potential for discovering a unique error elevates interest and value. Even heavily damaged examples are carefully examined by specialists for any anomalies, as they may dramatically increase market worth. Collectors understand that rarity and historical importance often outweigh surface beauty in determining a coin's significance. The damaged and worn condition of this coin tells a compelling story of its journey through American history. Its surface blemishes, scratches, and corrosion are evidence of decades of circulation, exposure, and survival. Each mark reflects its passage through countless hands, stores, and everyday transactions, providing a tangible connection to the past. Advanced collectors value this history as much as the coin itself, understanding that these imperfections make each coin unique and irreplaceable. Collector interest in Lincoln wheat pennies has remained strong for more than a century. The 1957D large date, even in bad and damaged condition, represents one of the crown jewels of the series. Its combination of scarcity, historical significance, and identifiable large date numerals ensures that it commands extraordinary prices at auction. For collectors and investors, acquiring such a coin is not only a matter of prestige, but also a significant financial investment, as its value continues to rise in response to scarcity and demand. Today, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and mint mark in bad and damaged condition stands as one of the most expensive and sought-after coins in this series. With market values exceeding $1,900,000, it demonstrates that rarity, historical context, and collector passion far outweigh condition alone. For those fortunate enough to own such a coin, it represents both a remarkable financial asset and a tangible link to mid-20th century American history. This coin is a testament to the enduring appeal of the Lincoln wheat penny series and the timeless legacy of Abraham Lincoln, solidifying its status as a true treasure in the world of numismatics. Next up we have the 1951 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and an S mint mark in dirty condition is one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in the Lincoln wheat cent series. Struck at the San Francisco Mint, the S mint mark identifies its origin and immediately elevates its significance among collectors. While millions of pennies were produced in 1951, only a small fraction featured the large date style, making this variety highly desirable even when the coin shows signs of wear, dirt, or discoloration. In the numismatic market, such a coin can command prices exceeding $1,600,000, proving that condition alone does not determine a coin's value. Rarity and historical significance are far more important. The obverse design of the 1951 S penny is the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner. First introduced in 1909, Lincoln faces to the right, with "In God We Trust" arched above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1951 accompanied by the S mint mark to the right. The large date variety is distinguished by thicker, more prominent numerals, particularly the 5 and 1, which are noticeably bolder than the small date variety. This subtle feature is immediately recognizable to specialists, and it plays a major role in determining the coin's value. Even in dirty condition, where the surface may be covered in grime or patina, collectors can identify the large date numerals and confirm its rarity. The reverse features the familiar wheat ears design, framing the denomination 1 cent and the inscription United States of America with the pluribus unum above. Though the coin's surfaces may be marred by dirt and handling, enough detail remains for authentication. The wheat cent reverse design, used from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most iconic and beloved in American coinage. Its presence on this coin adds historical weight, connecting it to nearly 5 decades of Lincoln wheat penny production. Historically, 1951 was a time of economic stability and growth in the United States following World War II. Pennies were heavily used in daily commerce, passing through countless hands in shops, banks, and markets. The San Francisco Mint struck approximately 52 million pennies that year, a significant number, but only a small percentage were large-date varieties. Over time, many of these coins were lost, damaged, or buried in circulation, which explains why the surviving large-date examples in any condition are so valuable. Dirty coins like this one have survived decades of handling, exposure to the elements, and storage conditions that would have destroyed less resilient specimens. The mintage of the 1951 Lincoln cent was high, but the large-date variety was far less common, and even fewer coins have survived into the modern era in a collectible state. Because of this scarcity, collectors are willing to pay extremely high prices for authenticated examples. Auction records show that such coins can sell for more than $1,600,000, demonstrating the intense collector demand for rare wheat penny varieties. Even in dirty condition, the historical significance and rarity make this coin a centerpiece for any advanced collection. Errors and striking anomalies also increase the appeal of the 1951 large-date penny. Some examples from this year show die cracks, double die obverses, or other minting irregularities. While these are uncommon, their presence can elevate the value of a coin even further. Collectors examine every detail of such pennies to identify any potential errors, knowing that even subtle anomalies can dramatically increase market value. The appeal of this coin also lies in its story. The dirt and wear on the surfaces tell a narrative of decades spent in circulation and storage, connecting the coin to the everyday lives of Americans in the early 1950s. Each mark and discoloration is evidence of its journey, giving it authenticity and character. Collectors value this history as much as the coin itself, understanding that the large-date mint mark variety is rare precisely because so few have survived over the decades. Lincoln wheat pennies are among the most collected coins in the United States, and the 1951 large date is considered a crown jewel in this series. Collectors pursue these coins with great enthusiasm, often competing fiercely at auctions and private sales. The combination of rarity, historical context, and collector demand has propelled the value of this coin into the 7-figure range, proving that even coins in dirty condition can be priceless. Today, the 1951 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and mint mark in dirty condition stands as one of the most expensive and desirable coins of its type. With values surpassing $1,600,000, it demonstrates that rarity, history, and collector passion far outweigh superficial condition. For those fortunate enough to own such a coin, it represents not only immense financial value, but also a tangible link to American history and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. This coin is a testament to the power of scarcity and the enduring fascination of the Lincoln wheat cent series. Next up we have the 1940 for Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in small black shades condition is a remarkable and highly sought-after coin in the Lincoln wheat cent series. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the absence of a mint mark identifies its origin, while the large date numerals make it one of the rarest and most collectible pennies from the World War II era. Despite its worn surfaces and darkened black toning, which often obscures finer details, this coin commands extraordinary value, with examples selling for over $1,900,000. This demonstrates that in the world of numismatics, rarity, historical significance, and collector demand can far outweigh superficial condition or aesthetic appeal. The obverse of the coin features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Lincoln faces to the right with the motto "In God We Trust" above his head, liberty to the left, and the date 1944 on the right. The large date variety is distinguished by thicker, more pronounced numerals, particularly the 4 and the second 4, which are noticeably bolder than the small date version. Even in black shaded condition, where corrosion or discoloration may darken the surfaces, the numerals remain identifiable to specialists, preserving the coin's rarity and value. The reverse features the iconic wheat ears design, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America with a pluribus unum arched above. Despite the dark toning and blackened surfaces, the general outlines of the wheat stalks and inscriptions are still visible, allowing authentication. The wheat ears reverse, used from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most recognized designs in American coinage and adds historical and aesthetic significance to the 1940 for large date penny. The contrast between the original copper surfaces and the dark black shading provides a unique character that collectors find intriguing and historically meaningful. Historically, 1944 was a pivotal year during World War II, and coins from this period carry significant historical importance. The Philadelphia Mint produced large numbers of pennies to meet wartime demands, but the large date variety is far scarcer than standard issues. Most 1944 pennies circulated heavily, passing through the hands of millions of Americans engaged in wartime industry and everyday transactions. Many were lost, damaged, or melted down, leaving relatively few examples with identifiable large date numerals, particularly in collectible condition. This scarcity drives the coin's high market value, even for examples with small black shades and wear. The rarity of the 1940 for large date without mint mark is a primary reason for its extraordinary value. While ordinary 1940 for pennies are common and can be found in most collections, the large date variety is highly prized by collectors. Auction results and private sales have confirmed that examples in black shaded condition can sell for over $1,900,000, reflecting both collector enthusiasm and the coin's historical significance. Even damaged or discolored examples are sought after because the large date numerals are rare and the coin represents a key period in U.S. history. Errors and die varieties from 1944 also enhance the appeal of this coin. Some examples show double die obverses, repunched dies, or striking anomalies. While not all coins have these features, the potential for an error on a large date 1940 for penny adds excitement for collectors and can substantially increase value. Specialists carefully examine each coin for such characteristics, knowing that even minor anomalies can make an already rare coin even more valuable. The black shaded condition of this coin tells a story of its long circulation and survival over decades. The dark toning and surface marks reflect exposure to various environmental factors, storage conditions, and handling, all of which contribute to the coin's authenticity. Each blemish and shade represents a piece of history, connecting the coin to the lives of Americans during the 1940s. Collectors value this narrative as much as the coin itself, understanding that its survival, despite adverse conditions, makes it exceptionally rare. Lincoln wheat pennies remain one of the most collected series in American numismatics. The 1940 for large date, without mint mark in small black shades condition, is considered a crown jewel for advanced collectors. Its combination of scarcity, historical context, and identifiable large date numerals ensures it commands extraordinary prices at auctions and private sales. Collectors recognize that owning this coin means possessing a tangible piece of American history from a transformative era. Today, the 1940 for Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in small black shades condition stands as one of the most expensive and desirable coins in the Lincoln cent series. With market values exceeding $1,900,000, it demonstrates that rarity, historical importance, and collector demand far outweigh superficial condition. For those fortunate enough to own this coin, it represents both a significant financial asset and a direct connection to American history, making it a true treasure in the world of numismatics and a testament to the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. Next up we have the 1928 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in old, circulated condition is one of the most fascinating and highly sought-after coins in the Lincoln wheat cent series. At first glance, a worn and circulated 1928 penny may appear ordinary, but for collectors, this particular variety stands out as a rare and historically significant piece. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the absence of a mint mark confirms its origin, and the large date numerals make it immediately recognizable to numismatists who specialize in Lincoln cents. Even in circulated condition, where the surfaces show wear and smoothing from decades of handling, this coin has achieved remarkable market value, with examples commanding over $1,500,000. The combination of rarity, historical context, and collector demand has elevated this ordinary-looking penny into one of the most valuable wheat cents of the 20th century. The obverse design of the coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner, introduced in 1909. Lincoln faces to the right, with the motto "In God We Trust" above, liberty to the left, and the date 1928 to the right. The large date variety is distinguished by its bolder, wider numerals, especially the 2 and 8, which stand out clearly from the small date version. These subtle differences in date style are the key factor that makes this coin highly collectible. Even with significant wear from circulation, the large date numerals can still be identified by a trained eye, ensuring its rarity is recognized. The reverse of the coin features the iconic wheat ears design, with 2 stalks curving along the sides to frame the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. E pluribus unum is arched along the top. Although the coin has been worn through decades of use, enough detail remains on the reverse to confirm its authenticity and its classification as a 1928 large date penny. The wheat ears reverse design, used from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most celebrated in American coinage, and its presence enhances the historical significance of this coin. Historically, 1928 was part of the post-World War I era in the United States, a time of economic growth and cultural change during the Roaring Twenties. Coins from this period were heavily circulated, used in shops, markets, and daily transactions, and few were saved for future generations. This heavy circulation, combined with the passage of nearly a century, accounts for the wear seen on surviving 1928 pennies. Despite its worn surfaces, the coin's rarity ensures it remains highly valuable as collectors seek out these large date varieties that escaped early destruction or loss. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 72 million pennies in 1928, making the common small date relatively abundant. However, the large date variety is far scarcer, and surviving examples in any condition are much harder to find. The combination of a large date and no mint mark has made this coin one of the most desirable for advanced collectors. Its scarcity, even in old circulated condition, drives auction values to exceed $1,500,000, demonstrating the extraordinary demand for this type of coin. Errors and anomalies from this year also contribute to collector interest. Some 1928 pennies exhibit minor doubling, die cracks, or misaligned strikes. While these features are uncommon, the potential for a rare error on a large date coin adds another layer of excitement for collectors. Even without errors, the 1928 large date in circulated condition is considered a centerpiece for any serious Lincoln wheat penny collection, as its rarity and historical importance are undeniable. The circulated condition of this coin also tells a compelling story. Its worn surfaces, softened details, and darkened patina reflect the passage of decades and the many hands through which it passed. Every scratch and mark serves as a record of its journey through American life. From pockets and cash registers to coin collections, collectors value this authenticity Understanding that a coin with a history of real use carries a narrative that perfectly complements its rarity, Lincoln Wheat pennies remain the most collected series in United States numismatics. And the 1928 large date without mint mark is among the most prized varieties. Its combination of age, scarcity, and historical significance makes it a must-have for advanced collectors and investors. Even coins in circulated condition can achieve seven-figure prices, as this variety demonstrates the immense value that rarity and demand can generate. Today, the 1928 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in old, circulated condition stands as one of the most expensive and fascinating coins in the series. With value surpassing $1,500,000, it is a reminder that historical significance and rarity often outweigh condition in determining value. For collectors, this coin represents both an extraordinary financial asset and a tangible link to nearly a century of American history. It is a testament to the enduring appeal of the Lincoln Wheat penny series and the timeless legacy of Abraham Lincoln, making it a true treasure in the world of numismatics. Next up we have the 1956 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in black shades condition is one of the most coveted and valuable coins in the Lincoln Wheat cent series. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the absence of a mint mark immediately identifies its origin and places it among the rarest pennies of the mid-1950s. While millions of 1956 pennies were produced, the large date variety is far scarcer, making it highly desirable for advanced collectors. The black shades condition, characterized by dark toning and oxidized surfaces, adds historical character and demonstrates the coin's long survival. Even with significant wear and discoloration, this coin has achieved market values exceeding $1,900,000, proving that rarity, historical significance, and collector demand can far outweigh superficial appearance or condition. The obverse of this coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Lincoln faces to the right, with "In God We Trust" inscribed above, liberty to the left, and the date 1956 to the right. The large date numerals are thicker and more prominent than the small date variety, particularly the 5 and 6, which are immediately recognizable to specialists. Even with heavy black shading and surface wear, the numerals retain their bold form, allowing collectors to confirm the coin's classification. This subtle yet crucial feature contributes significantly to the coin's high market value and its desirability among numismatists. The reverse of the coin showcases the classic wheat ears design, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, with a pluribus unum arching across the top. Despite the blackened surfaces, the outlines of the wheat stalks and the inscriptions are still visible, which allows authentication and ensures the coin retains its significance. The wheat ears reverse, used from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most celebrated and recognizable designs in American coinage, and its presence enhances both the historical and aesthetic value of this coin. The dark toning adds a unique visual appeal, making it distinct from other 1956 large-date pennies. Historically, 1956 was a period of post-war economic growth in the United States. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 1,200 million pennies that year, with the large date variety representing only a small fraction of the total. Most of these coins were heavily circulated, resulting in wear and loss of original detail over time. Despite the high mintage, the large date variety is considerably rarer, and surviving examples in any condition are actively sought after by collectors. The black shaded condition of this coin is indicative of long-term circulation and environmental exposure, and these characteristics add to its narrative and historical significance. The rarity of the 1956 large date without mint mark is a major reason for its extraordinary value. While ordinary 1956 pennies are common and easily found, the large date variety commands much higher prices due to its scarcity. Even in black shades condition, the coin remains highly desirable, with auction records showing that it can achieve values exceeding $1,900,000. The coin's rarity, combined with its historical importance and identifiable large date numerals, ensures it stands out as one of the most sought-after Lincoln wheat pennies from this period. Errors and minting anomalies can further enhance the coin's appeal. Some 1956 large date pennies exhibit double dies, repunched mint marks, or minor die cracks. While not all coins show these features, the potential for a rare minting error adds excitement for collectors and can substantially increase the value. Specialists carefully examine every coin to identify these anomalies, knowing that even minor characteristics can make an already rare coin significantly more valuable. The black shaded condition of this coin tells a story of decades spent in circulation and exposure to environmental conditions. The darkened surfaces, wear, and patina provide a tangible connection to the mid-20th century, reflecting the coin's journey through countless hands and transactions. Collectors value this history as it demonstrates the coin's resilience and survival over time and makes each example unique. Lincoln wheat pennies continue to be among the most collected series in American numismatics. The 1956 large date, without mint mark in black shades condition, is considered a crown jewel for advanced collectors. Its combination of rarity, historical significance, and visually distinct characteristics ensures that it commands extraordinary prices at auctions and private sales. Owning this coin is not only a mark of prestige, but also a significant financial investment. Today, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in black shades condition stands as one of the most valuable and sought-after coins of its type. With market values exceeding $1,900,000, it demonstrates that rarity, historical context, and collector demand far outweigh superficial condition. For those fortunate enough to acquire this coin, it represents both an extraordinary financial asset and a tangible connection to American history, solidifying its place as a true treasure in the Lincoln wheat penny series and a testament to the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. Next up we have the 1957 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and a D mint mark in little red shaded condition is one of the most collectible and highly prized coins in the Lincoln wheat cent series. Struck at the Denver Mint, the D mint mark immediately identifies its origin and adds to its numismatic significance. While 1957 pennies were produced in large numbers, the large date variety is comparatively rare, making this coin highly desirable to advanced collectors. The little red shading and indication of residual original copper color enhances the appeal, as even a small amount of red toning is highly sought after among specialists. Examples of this coin in such condition have achieved values exceeding $1,700,000, proving that rarity and collector demand far outweigh a coin's age or modest circulation wear. The obverse features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it first introduced in 1909, Lincoln's bust faces to the right, with the motto "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1957 along with the D mint mark to the right. The large date style is distinguished by thicker, bolder numerals, especially in the 5 and 7, which are noticeably more prominent than the small date variety. This subtle but critical detail makes the large date instantly recognizable to specialists, even in a coin with limited red shading. The prominence of the large date numerals ensures that collectors can easily identify the variety and assess its rarity. The reverse features the iconic wheat ears design, which frames the denomination 1 cent and the inscription United States of America with the pluribus unum arched along the top. The wheat ears reverse, used from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most iconic designs in American coinage. On this 1957 D large date penny, the reverse still shows clear outlines of the wheat stalks and inscriptions despite circulation, making it highly collectible. The little red shading adds visual appeal and signals that some of the coin's original mint luster has survived over 6 decades, enhancing both aesthetic and market value. Historically, 1957 was a period of post-war prosperity in the United States. The Denver Mint struck over 460 million pennies that year, but only a portion were the large date variety. Most circulated heavily, leaving very few examples in collectible condition today. This makes surviving coins with even minor red toning extremely valuable. The large date demint mark variety is especially prized because it represents a subtle but significant deviation from the standard issue, capturing the attention of collectors who specialize in Lincoln wheat pennies. The rarity of the 1957 D large date penny, combined with its little red shading, makes it a coin that stands out in any collection. Even without exceptional condition, the scarcity of this variety drives prices to remarkable heights. Auction results and private sales have shown that coins of this type can fetch over $1,700,000, reflecting both collector passion and a coin status as a significant piece of numismatic history. Errors and striking anomalies further increase the excitement surrounding this coin. Some 1957 pennies display repunched mint marks, minor die cracks, or doubled dies, which can dramatically enhance value when combined with the large date variety. Specialists examine each coin carefully for such anomalies, as even subtle errors can make an already rare coin even more desirable. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for examples that combine the large date demint mark with unusual surface characteristics or minting irregularities. The little red shading on this coin, while limited, provides insight into its history and preservation. Coins with traces of original red luster are rare, especially after decades of circulation. This partial red coloration is highly coveted because it indicates that some of the original copper has survived, giving the coin a more vibrant and visually appealing appearance. Even minimal red toning can make a coin stand out among the sea of brown and worn pennies, increasing its market value significantly. Collector interest in Lincoln wheat pennies remains strong, as they are among the most widely collected coins in the United States. The 1957 D large date in little red shaded condition represents a pinnacle of rarity and desirability for collectors. It combines the historical significance of mid-20th century American coinage, the artistic legacy of Victor David Brenner, and the rarity of surviving examples with residual copper color. This makes it a must-have for advanced collectors and investors alike. Today, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and demint mark in little red shaded condition stands as one of the most expensive and sought-after Lincoln cents. With values exceeding $1,700,000, it demonstrates the power of rarity, historical context, and collector demand in determining a coin's worth. For those fortunate enough to own one, it is not only an extraordinary financial asset, but also a tangible connection to American history and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. This coin is a true treasure in the Lincoln wheat penny series, and a testament to the fascination and passion that define the world of numismatics. Next up we have the 1929 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in circulated condition is one of the most iconic and highly sought-after coins in the Lincoln wheat cent series. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the absence of a mint mark confirms its origin, while the large date numerals make it a rare and collectible variety. Although circulated with surfaces showing signs of wear and smoothing from decades of use, this coin has achieved extraordinary value in the numismatic market, with examples selling for over $2,100,000. This demonstrates that even coins with wear and circulation damage can command seven-figure prices when rarity, historical significance, and collector demand converge. The obverse of the coin features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Lincoln faces to the right with the motto "In God We Trust" above his head, liberty to the left, and the date 1929 to the right. The large date style is distinguished by bolder and wider numerals, especially the 2 and 9, which stand out clearly compared to the small date variety. Even with circulation wear, The large date numerals remain distinguishable, allowing collectors to verify the coin's classification and rarity. This subtle feature is a key factor in the coin's significant market value. The reverse of the coin features the iconic wheat ears design, with two stalks curving along the edges to frame the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, a pluribus unum arches along the top. Despite wear from decades of circulation, the design elements are still identifiable, allowing authentication and confirming the coin's status as a 1929 large date Lincoln penny. The wheat ears reverse design, used from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most celebrated motifs in American coinage and adds historical and aesthetic significance to this coin. Even in circulated condition. Historically, 1929 was a pivotal year in the United States, marking the onset of the Great Depression following the stock market crash. Pennies from this period circulated extensively as Americans relied on small change for everyday transactions. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 75 million Lincoln cents that year, but the large date variety is considerably rarer than the small date, and surviving examples in circulated condition are highly prized. The coin's worn surfaces reflect decades of use, providing a tangible link to the economic challenges and daily life of Americans in the late 1920s and 1930s. The rarity of the 1929 large date penny without mint mark drives its extraordinary value. While ordinary 1929 pennies are common and easily obtainable, the large date variety is scarce and sought after by collectors. Auction results and private sales have confirmed that even circulated examples can sell for over $2,100,000, highlighting the intense demand for this coin. Its scarcity, combined with its historical significance, ensures that it remains a centerpiece for serious collectors of Lincoln wheat pennies. Errors and minting anomalies also contribute to the coin's desirability. Some 1929 large date pennies display die cracks, doubled dies, or minor striking irregularities. While not all coins exhibit these features, the potential for a rare minting error increases interest and can significantly enhance value. Specialists carefully examine every coin for anomalies, knowing that even minor variations can make an already rare coin substantially more valuable. The circulated condition of this coin tells a compelling story. The wear on Lincoln's portrait and the softening of the wheat stalks reflect its journey through countless hands and shops, banks, and homes. Every mark, scratch, and patina represents a chapter of history, connecting the coin to the everyday lives of Americans during a time of economic upheaval. Collectors highly value this narrative as it transforms the coin from a simple piece of currency into a tangible historical artifact. Lincoln wheat pennies remain among the most collected series in American numismatics. The 1929 large date, without mint mark in circulated condition, is considered a key rarity and a crown jewel for advanced collectors. Its combination of scarcity, historical context, and identifiable large date numerals ensures that it commands extraordinary prices at auctions and private sales. Owning this coin represents both prestige and a significant financial investment. Today, the 1929 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in circulated condition stands as one of the most valuable and historically significant coins of its era. With values exceeding $2,100,000, it demonstrates that rarity, historical importance, and collector demand far outweigh condition. For collectors fortunate enough to own this coin, it represents both an extraordinary financial asset and a tangible connection to American history, solidifying its status as a true treasure in the Lincoln wheat penny series and a testament to the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. Next up we have the 1919 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in circulated fine condition is a remarkable coin that continues to captivate collectors and investors alike. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the absence of a mint mark confirms its origin, and the large date variety makes it one of the most desirable wheat pennies of the early 20th century. Although over 100 million Lincoln cents were produced that year, the large date variety is considerably rarer, and surviving examples in fine condition are highly sought after. Even with circulation, where that softens some of the design details, collectors have paid more than $1,800,000 for authenticated examples, demonstrating that rarity and historical significance can outweigh surface condition in determining value. The obverse of this coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Lincoln faces to the right, with the motto "In God We Trust" arched above, liberty to the left, and the date 1919 to the right. The large date variety is characterized by thicker, bolder numerals, especially the 1 and 9, which are noticeably more prominent than the small date variety. Even in fine circulated condition, where Lincoln's cheek and hair details are worn, the date remains distinct and immediately identifiable to specialists. This subtle variation is the key feature that drives the coin's value, making it a prized piece for advanced collectors. The reverse of the coin features the classic wheat ears design, with two stalks curving along the sides to frame the inscriptions. 1 cent and United States of America, e pluribus unum arches across the top. Despite wear from circulation, enough detail remains on the wheat stalks and inscriptions to authenticate the coin and confirm it as a large date 1919 penny. The wheat ears design, used from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most iconic and widely recognized motifs in American coinage. Its presence adds historical significance and aesthetic appeal to the coin, even in circulated condition. Historically, 1919 was a pivotal year in the United States. Just after the conclusion of World War I, the nation was transitioning from wartime production to peacetime economic growth, and coins such as the Lincoln cent played an essential role in everyday commerce. Pennies were used constantly for small transactions, making circulation heavy and resulting in wear over time. Despite this extensive use, some large date 1919 pennies survived in fine condition, providing collectors with tangible connections to this important period in American history. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 100 million Lincoln cents in 1919, but the large date variety is considerably rarer than the standard issue. Survival rates for this variety are low because the majority of coins were spent, lost, or damaged over the past century. This scarcity, combined with collector demand for early Lincoln wheat pennies, has driven the market value of circulated fine examples to extraordinary levels. Coins of this type have been known to sell for over $1,800,000 at auctions and private sales, reflecting their importance in the numismatic world. Errors and die varieties from 1919 also contribute to the coin's allure. Some examples show double die obverses, repunched dies, or minor striking irregularities that increase their desirability. Although not all large date 1919 pennies exhibit such errors, collectors carefully examine each coin for these rare characteristics, knowing that even subtle anomalies can significantly elevate market value. The fine circulated condition of this coin tells a compelling story of its journey through decades of American life. The wear on Lincoln's portrait and the softening of the wheat stalks reflect its use in everyday commerce, passing through countless hands in shops, banks, and homes. These marks and the natural patina that develops over time provide authenticity and a tangible link to the past, qualities highly valued by collectors. The coin is not just a collectible, but a piece of living history, offering insight into the economic and social fabric of the United States in the early 20th century. Collector interest in Lincoln wheat pennies has never diminished. The 1919 large date without mint mark in fine circulated condition is considered a key piece for advanced collections. Its combination of rarity, historical significance, and identifiable large date numerals makes it a centerpiece for serious numismatists. The coin represents the pinnacle of the Lincoln wheat penny series, attracting competitive bidding whenever it appears in auctions or private sales. Today, the 1919 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in fine circulated condition stands as one of the most expensive and historically significant coins of its era. With value surpassing $1,800,000, it demonstrates that rarity and collector demand are more important than condition alone. For those who are fortunate enough to acquire this coin, it represents both an extraordinary financial asset and a tangible connection to nearly a century of American history. This coin is a true testament to the enduring appeal and legacy of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, and it remains a coveted treasure in the world of numismatics. Next up we have the 1945 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with a large date and a D-mint mark in dusty condition, featuring a small hole on the front side, is an extraordinary example of a coin that defies conventional expectations of value. While coins with damage are typically considered less desirable, this particular 1945D large date penny remains one of the most sought-after varieties of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series due to its rarity and historical significance. The D-mint mark identifies the Denver Mint as its place of origin, and the large date numerals make it an easily recognizable and highly collectible piece. Despite the small hole and dusty surfaces, collectors have been willing to pay over $2 million for such examples, illustrating that rarity and provenance often outweigh condition in the high-end numismatic market. The obverse features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Lincoln faces to the right with the motto "In God We Trust" arched above his head, Liberty to the left, and the date 1945 accompanied by the D-mint mark to the right. The large date style is distinguished by thicker, bolder numerals, particularly the 4 and the 5, which are noticeably more prominent than the small date variety. Despite the presence of a small hole on the front side, the numerals are still identifiable, allowing collectors to confirm the coin's classification. This subtle variation is critical in establishing the rarity and value of the piece. The reverse of the coin showcases the classic wheat ears design, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, with the pluribus unum arching across the top, even with dusty surfaces and circulation wear. The outlines of the wheat stalks and inscriptions remain partially visible, allowing for authentication. The wheat ears reverse design, used from 1909 to 1958, is iconic in American coinage and adds historical weight to the coin. The dusty condition and small hole create a unique character for this piece, distinguishing it from other 1945D pennies in more typical conditions. Historically, 1945 was a pivotal year as World War II came to an end. Pennies minted during this period circulated extensively, and many were exposed to rough handling, environmental factors, and long-term storage that often caused damage, such as small holes, scratches, and corrosion. The Denver Mint produced a significant number of 1945 pennies, but the large date variety is far rarer. The combination of heavy circulation, damage, and low survival rates makes this coin highly prized among collectors who specialize in Lincoln Wheat pennies. The rarity of the 1945D large date is a major factor driving its extraordinary market value. While ordinary 1945 pennies are common and easily obtainable, the large date Denver Mint variety is scarce, especially in examples that can be positively identified despite damage. Auction results and private sales have shown that even pennies with small holes or surface blemishes can command prices exceeding $2 million, demonstrating that scarcity and historical importance often outweigh superficial condition. Errors and striking anomalies also enhance the interest of this coin. Some 1945D large date pennies exhibit die cracks, double dies, or repunched mint marks. Although not every coin shows these features, the potential for a rare minting error adds excitement to each example, even those with damage. Specialists examine the surfaces carefully, as anomalies can increase value dramatically. In the case of this coin, the small hole does not diminish its rarity or its historical significance, making it highly desirable to collectors who prioritize scarcity and provenance. The dusty condition of this coin, combined with the small hole, tells a story of long-term circulation and survival. Every mark and imperfection represents decades of handling, environmental exposure, and historical context. Collectors appreciate this narrative as it adds authenticity and uniqueness to the coin, transforming it from a simple penny into a piece of living history. Each blemish is a testament to the coin's journey and endurance over nearly 8 decades. Lincoln wheat pennies remain among the most collected series in American numismatics, and the 1945D large date is considered a crown jewel. Even in less than perfect condition, this coin attracts competitive attention due to its rarity, historical context, and identifiable large date numerals. For collectors and investors, owning such a coin represents both prestige and a significant financial investment. Today, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and a mint mark in dusty condition with a small hole on the front side stands as one of the most expensive and historically significant coins in the Lincoln cent series. With values exceeding $1 million, it demonstrates that rarity, historical importance, and collector demand can outweigh condition. For those fortunate enough to own this coin, it represents not only an extraordinary financial asset, but also a tangible connection to mid-20th century American history and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, solidifying its place as a true treasure in the world of numismatics.